Hello, welcome to the Daily Live. It is Monday the 3rd of July. It's what is known as open season for Everton.
Money, bitch.
I mean, they haven't been spending any, but they can. Technically,
they can.
They can. Let's kick it off with, there's a few things happening over the weekend in the background. Silhouetting, almost.
Tour de France.
That very much happened over the weekend.
Great
A lot
stuff.
of other great
Stuff.
A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. But from an Everton perspective, Rodrigo from Leeds, Everton very, very interested in bringing him to Goodison Park. So let's begin with him. We will have a show on Rodrigo.
We will.
Having a little look at him.
On the
Got
Prem.
the stuff on the Prem.
On the Prem.
Very much on the Prem. That's getting recorded in a bit. But just from... I've seen two sides of this. I've seen someone yesterday. Someone sent me a tweet. We just go and look at this for us. So I went on to that there Twitter. Apparently Twitter has been broke, has it, over or whatever. Anyway. Right, okay. I don't know what's going on. Like, but anyway. I went on the thing and I seen a couple of things of like, if Everton sign him, it's over.
It's always
Like,
over.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most craziest tweet I've ever seen.
It's not.
It's one of them.
No.
If Everton sign him, it's over. The fella that's got 13 Premier League goals last season, 1 and 3, versus Neil Maupay, or versus not having a centre forward. And I think the beauty of Rodrigo,
There's a beauty.
if there's a beauty of Rodrigo, and I'm sure his mum thinks he's beautiful, is that he can play in a few positions as well. Essentially, he can play attacking midfield at 10, if you like.
Yeah.
He can play wide areas. He's good on the ball. And obviously, he scored goals as well. So, if Everton, there was reported fees of €4 million, which is what, just over £3 million. If it's a bit higher than that, I don't know. But that was one thing I saw on Saturday, I think it was. He's 32. I don't love that. And me personally, as you know, my preferences would be to get players who are much younger and who we can develop and possibly sell on a higher value to try and get hold of the club's finances. But if Everton can get him, he's experienced, he scored goals, a Spanish international. I actually think it wouldn't be. I think we need another one. Don't get me wrong, it's not. I don't think it's him and that's it, we're sorted, because far from it. But what are your feelings with it? I personally think it would be a good signing for Everton.
Yeah, I think the issue comes from that a lot of the things you just said there, you could have aimed at Maupay this time last year. That's.
You know what? I think he's quicker, and I think he's got more about.
No,
him.
I'm just saying in a general sense. In a general sense, you could say those things about Maupay. I think he's more. I think he's a bit more of a live wire inside the box. He is a goal scorer rather than like a Maupay is more like a second striker. I think you definitely need somebody else because you need someone who can take who can be the Dominic Calvert-Lewin essentially. I think if the fee's right, I think he's had injury issues, hasn't he? Literally all the time he's been.
He played 31 league games last season.
Yeah, but he all just seems to have injury problems since he's been there. Probably more than the first season. Suppose if the fee's right and they can get him in with minimum fuss, then it mightn't be the worst deal in the world if they are struggling. Which they seem to be struggling. So, there's talk of €40 million strikers and all these things. Are these things really going to happen? Do we just have to be? Do we just have to be aware of where we actually are? That's the thing, isn't it? You can get caught. I've seen people over the weekend, and it really annoys me when you see people talking about like who Liverpool are signing and who Newcastle are signing, and you know it doesn't matter.
That's just envy.
I know, but it just doesn't matter though. There's no point looking at teams like that and going, "Oh, they're getting that, and we're doing." The teams we're looking at are the teams in the bottom half of the table. They're the simple facts, and we've got to have a better side than them. There's no point worrying about all those other sides and who's buying who for 60 million. It's pointless. We've got to be looking at what advantage we can be getting out of.
Do we think a year ago Newcastle were looking at who Tottenham were buying and Arsenal and things like that?
It doesn't matter.
No, but I'm just saying. They weren't, were they? They'll just been looking at who Palace and Everton and people like that were buying.
Well, they probably were.
Right, at that time.
The bio come?
Because they only got...
They probably were, though, because they'd already had the buy. No, but once you get that money, you do start...
I'm just talking about where they were. So they just stayed up. Like, you know, they finished comfortably, but they'd had an unbelievable turnaround and stayed up. I think they last year were just looking like, can we now look around the middle bit and can we fight for the European place? And then obviously they've been ahead of the game and now they're all right.
Literally.
They're fine, but we can't do that, can we?
Some Newcastle fans.
Well, we can't do that.
No, we can't. And I think we've got to look for the small gains and who, listen, I don't know. I don't know whether...
Yeah, well, I've just looked at Rodrigo. First season, played 28 times for Leeds and scored 7 goals. Second season, played 34 times for Leeds and scored 6 goals. Yeah. Last season, he played 35 times for Leeds and scored 15 goals in all competitions. So he's had 97 appearances in 3 years. So that's not bad. If Everton can get him, they need another one. Like I just said, if we get him, it doesn't go, right, we've got the forward now. No, because if the minute Dom gets injured again and you're back to relying on him, that ain't great. So we need another one. But I think if he's going to be one of 3, but the thing with him is he can also go wide or he can drop in and play in the Corey's role, and he is someone who would be in the box. I think that's a sensible
that's a good kind of play we should be looking for. It does give him the option to play 4-4-2. Let me just reiterate my point about it doesn't about seeing the big clubs. Right, let me just reiterate the point. We are not catching those teams or getting anywhere near those teams in the next 3 years, simply because, not because they're all amazing and the gap can't be closed. We haven't got any money. And if you have not got any money and they have got money and they can spend that money, then what is the point in worrying about it? What is the point in going down the street, looking at someone's house and go, oh no, God, look at them, and when they might be millionaires and they can spend all that money when you're just trying to,
live your life,
and maybe give your house fix the crack,
lick a paint,
lick a paint and fix the cracks, and make sure the leak in the bathroom sorted. Of course we're getting weaker compared to those teams, but we're not trying to win the league. We're trying to stay in the league. These are facts. This is not going to change for the next couple of years.
At least a couple of years.
And that's just about staying in the league, because there is no money. When I look at people when they talk about this football club, I don't think they realise how much trouble we are in and have been in for the last couple of years. Like literally, the whole of the under-21s is available to buy. Like, if you come in for a really good offer for probably any of our players, they're gone. That's the simple fact. So we have got to cut our cloth accordingly. And the idea of worrying about anybody else's player who plays for anyone who is currently playing in Europe is there's just no point. There is no point. Concentrate on the teams around us. Concentrate on being better than 4, 5, 6 other teams in the Premier League, because that's just where we are at the moment. And until that changes, and only money will change that. Only money, bringing in better players, of course. It's not like if Liverpool didn't buy this kid for 60 million, we'd have a chance to be as good as them this season.
It's irrelevant.
These clubs are completely irrelevant to us, apart from playing them twice a season.
But the other thing, you're right. I agree. As frustrating as that is, and it is. And listen, it's not our fault as in fans. It's certainly not. We haven't had the money. We haven't had a big get together and decided by vote who Everton should buy, and it's all gone horribly wrong. We had a great chance of being Newcastle. Really, we did. We started very similar to them from that base where there was no money. There was no big debts. Yeah. We had a big pot of money where FFP didn't really come into it for the first couple of seasons. And because we didn't have the right people at the football club, and we allowed the owner to pick and choose, we blew it.
Yeah,
we blew our chance. Everton should have, theoretically, with that team that Mashiri inherited, with his money, or Usmanov, or whoever's money, that big pot of money, and with no restrictions, Everton should have got into the Champions League, or certainly been very close to it. Should have been in Europe, and close to the Champions League, and building stronger and stronger and stronger. And we didn't. We just blew it on a million players that weren't, a lot of them weren't fit for purpose for what we needed. So now we are where we are. Just because we can't look at Newcastle and go, well, we want to be as big as them. Well, we might do. Might take time to be. And listen, Everton are bigger than Newcastle. I don't care what anyone says. That you can use any metric you want. Everton are miles bigger than Newcastle as a football club. But right now, they are much more relevant than us because A, they're in the Champions League. B, they've got a big pot of money. And they're a good Premier League side. So you got to just go, all right, fair play. Off you go with that. But Newcastle last season wouldn't have... I know what you're saying about fans getting carried away, but I don't believe any Newcastle fan thought they were getting top four this season. None of them. And because they've done what they did, and they've kept going in the manner in which they were going in, they've had a great season, and they're in the top four, and that's a big pot of money back in, and they can spend again with FFP and everything. It's loosened the purse strings a bit more because they've got FF. There's no profit and sustainability issues because they're getting a big pot in the Champions League. So it puts them in a different world again for that duration. So you can jump up higher than what you thought. Absolutely. No Aston Villa fan, when they rocked up at Goodison in February, thought they were getting into Europe. Because that day, if Everton would have won, there was 3 points between the two teams, and we knew we were in a relegation battle, and they believed they were. Things can change very quickly. But right now, we have to look at where we are, and where we are is right. Our first port of call is getting a balanced squad in this transfer window. That's the first thing. Right? And Everton need someone like Rodrigo, for me, as a third choice striker. He's experienced, he's got goals, he can play a few positions. Then we still need another striker. We need a wide player. We need a left back. Certainly someone who will come in and challenge Mykolenko if we can't get one who will take his place. We need someone who you can go, it's him or him for left back. Not, well, Miko's the left back, and if he ever gets injured, we've got a kid here who can play it. We need another centre midfield player for me. Tom Davis left the club over the weekend. Everton needs someone else in there. And Onana looks like he may well be staying now and all that. Great. But we still need these players. And then if we do that and get that balance in, then Everton can have a much better season than they had this year. Which means we finish higher, which means there's a little bit more money available, which means we're closer to Bramley Moor or New Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Then we can look again and go, right, can we now be a bit closer to these teams if we do the right thing? Doesn't matter if we've got all the money in the world, which we've had at one time, or we've got no money, like David Moyes never had. He still made a fist of it. And you have to be competitive. And Everton needs to be competitive by getting the right players in, by getting the fans fully behind it, screaming and shouting at Goodison every week. So it's horrible. And they do that, to be fair to them. So we've got to get the forward players in, balance this squad out, like you said, and just take it game by game. We have to look and go, right, our first aim this season is to be above any relegation danger. That has got to be the first aim. If you want to call it 40 points, great. If that's aim 1, 40 points, brilliant. Call it that. Doesn't really matter. The sooner you get to there, the better. Right? If you can get there in February or March, brilliant. It means we can all sleep easily in those last couple of months. And then it means you can plan pre-season, your transfer budget for the next season. You can start talking to players knowing you are a Premier League football club. Don't do anyone any good when you're the arse end of May and you're speaking to a player and you're going, if we stay up, we can give you this money because we're in the Premier. Players don't want that. Players want clubs that are on the up. So that's what we have to do. We have to accept where we are, pull our pants up, get on with it and go, right, we need to, this is where we are. We can't go, oh, we want Shablowski or we want this player who's too
hopefully we've got our targets and we're going to go for them, and everything else is just a distraction. And all the other names of the distraction. I've seen a couple of people in the comments going, do you regret getting rid of Anthony Gordon? Why? Because he scored a couple of goals in the under-21s?
Not one for 1 second. Not for 1 second. No.
I don't regret
He
it.
may well, in 2 or 3 years, be a brilliant player. But right when we got the money and where it was, no, I don't regret it for a second. It is what it is. I want Everton to do more of that. Bring a player through and sell him for 40 million and reinvest. That's what I want. Bill Altore, there's a rumour out today Everton have bid 34 million, whatever, for him. I'm not convinced that's right. But Everton do like the player.
Yeah.
They have watched them for over a year. They were very interested in January. Almeida weren't interested in letting them go then. The player apparently was very interested in coming, because a lot of people do want to come to the Premier League. 34 million seems undoable to me. I don't know. It could be structured so it's a 10 million down payment and then 5 million over whatever. If Everton can spend that 10 million, fine. If it's now in that window of opportunity like it was last year when we had the Richarlison money and it turned over into next year, brilliant. Still think 34 million is a little bit excessive for him. More like a £25 million player, but he's exciting. He's 21. Someone I think you can do well. So we'll just have to see. But he is someone who Everton are interested in, and that link isn't just a wild stab in the dark. Like, no, you smirking, what are you smirking?
No, someone just put something in the comments. I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair play. True. And then another player Everton will link with over the weekend is Dan and Doy, who's playing in Switzerland, who's a young winger, 21 years of age.
2 players? Was that 2 players?
Dan and Doy. Dan and Doy, the twins. So Fabrizio Romano put that out. Everton, West Ham. There's a little stamp at the moment, and Everton and West Ham seem to be on the same stamp for every player. He's another one. He looks exciting. Again, you'd be taking a bit of a risk, of course you would, because he's been playing in Switzerland. But these are the players we're asking Everton to take a risk with, aren't we? And that, again, when you're talking about forwards, that's why the Rodrigo thing kind of almost makes a little bit of sense, that he's a little bit more experienced, has done it in the Premier League, so you can maybe take a risk. And this is all because we're discounting Dominic Calvert-Lewin, aren't we? We're saying we can't rely on him. Great if he stays fit. It's probably the biggest thing Everton need this season.
It's not just that, though, is it? You've got to have cover, and you've got to have players who can do different things. And that's where you've got to have options, haven't you? If you don't have options to change games, to go to 4-4-2, to bring someone off the bench who's going to do something. If you give someone the option to come back into the Premier League and say to them, you fight for your place, then I imagine that person's going to want to take it, aren't he? Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And the manager does give the manager options. Then it does give him an option to play 4-4-2 in games where
4-4-1-1.
Yeah, there's been plenty of games at Goodison this season, or last season, sorry, when you thought, how many times did we see a game at Goodison similar to the Bournemouth game where you have lots of the ball and you just can't put it in the back of the net, or you just can't get it into the final third because you don't have that one player who's got the ability to do something a little bit different, and clearly that wasn't Mopai. And maybe this lad, it might be him. I don't know. I'm not fully sure, but as I said before, it's beggars can't be choosers at the moment. We just have to wheel and deal the best we can and see what's. But again, it's just a name, innit? It's just a name at the moment. It's just a name.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it is, isn't it? Until Everton agree a fee with somebody, and then it's moved to the next level, then it's just links. But just know with the Rodrigo thing and obviously Bill Altore, that there is stuff in them links. So that's why they're interesting. But we, the manager will know quite clearly that we need forward.
And listen, if we can get rid of Mopai and we get rid of Ellis Sims, and we could bring in, I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 20 million for those 2 players, who's to say then you could turn that money round and use it to bring another 2 strikers in who do a much better job. And then that's the craziness of the transfer market, isn't it? 2 players you don't need, and you can bring 2 players you do want in for around the same money.
So Ellis Sims, what's saving 7 to 10 million?
It's the talk, isn't it?
The
And if
talk,
there's a bit of a bidding war, then and maybe not all of that'll be paid all in one, not up front, but in terms of like that might be £4 or £5 million.
But we can bank it as all in one, which is important.
Yeah. So, no, but what I mean is add-ons and things like that.
Of course,
I imagine, But a lot of it, we could bank it and then use that money in the right way. I mean, we've been linked to Dan Jr. as well, hasn't we, over the weekend as well?
I mean, what do you make of that one? What do you make of it?
I don't really know. I'm not really.
Would you accept them?
I
mean, not that
I don't care. I honestly don't care about any of them, so it doesn't really matter to me. If we want to make a pantomime villain out of him, then so be it. The man,
he'd have some kahunas on him, like, to come in now, wouldn't he? And just be like, well, what cojones even? And be like,
both, mate.
Kahunas are important, I always think. He's gone to Wolves. Some big bollocks on him to bounce into Finch Farm again and be like, not well, I know the way there, lads. Been there before. Rafa left me his tunnel patch.
I know the training ground. I know the
setup. And he'd have to come in and make amends, wouldn't he? Sort of, and do all of that stuff. Yeah, obviously, some people would be fuming over it. Fair enough.
Of course.
You can't tell people how to feel, but if he's someone who comes in and helps Everton out.
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, it's not ideal, is it?
No.
But what is ideal? We're not really. It's not, again, not exactly chasing around trying to get unbelievable players, are we? We're not looking around getting the most exciting players in the market. So it's what it is.
Do what's what. Rondon and Eugene says, remember to smash the like button. Also remember to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much. AC smashed the like button as well, just like when Everton used to smash the goals back in 2019. AC's hit it. He's hit the nail on the head. There's no question about it. H.E. Pennypacker, great name, says, how many forwards do you think we need to bring in?
I think we need 2 at least. Well, 2. Let's not go overboard. We need 2. We need someone similar physically to Dom and maybe another. And then we need to get the other 2 out. No, we're not going to carry 4 strikers.
No, not 4 strikers. When you're saying forward, play talking about a winger.
Yeah,
I think Everton need 2 strikers and a winger.
No, we need a right winger.
That's what they need.
We definitely need a right winger.
And then Ellis Sims, Neil Mopai out the door. And possibly if Damari Gray goes, we might need 4 forward players in, because Damari Gray would be out the door for money. And then that would mean that realistically we've got, say, a Wobie and Maupai who can play, a Wobie and McNeil who can play off the left, and we'd have nobody on the right. We'd have to go and get at least 2 for the right hand side, wouldn't we? Unless you start to go, well, Wobie can do it, and then unless they give Stanley Mills a go, and when like you're in the squad now as a right winger, as well as an older one, I don't know whether that'll happen, but that's, for me, that's what it would be. Gavin Johnson said Rodrigo and Pirro would be good additions for low cost if we can get money on Sims and Mopai. Rondon the Legend says Rodrigo would get us 10 to 15 goals at least. Michael says, I like Rodrigo, but he won't come to us. He's going back to Spain. Well, he turned down Valencia the other day, or Seville, because he wants to go play in the Premier League, his agent said so.
You ain't getting Premier League money in Spain.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Whammy says Rodrigo's another of the terrible recruiting if we get him. Nah, see, I slightly disagree with that, because I think we need someone like that who's got a little bit more about him than Mopai. He's good touch, good movement, can pick a pass, scores goals, nice left foot. He's mobile, which is a bigger thing. When we beat them 3-0 2 seasons ago, we hit the bar twice from 30 yards. He was every time he got it, dangerous. Linked the play well. So I think he's a good player. I think if Everton could get him, it'd be a step in the right direction. We need another one. Absolutely, we do. Couldn't get away from that. But there you go. I am Milky Coffee says hello to you there in Korea. There you go. Michael says we can't attract a 20-goal striker. Evertonian, so going for that type of striker makes sense. Well, the only one we can is a player playing in Europe who wants the money. And that's got to be the first attraction, isn't it? Premier League and money. Or a player in the Championship.
The thing about it is, though, what it would be nice would be, and then I listening to a lot, seeing a lot of people's concerns either way, is if you brought a Rodrigo
Hang on
in...
one sec. Abdul, Rodrigo's 32, mate. Go and look at his date of birth. He's literally 32.
What was he saying?
Like he says 30.
Okay. If you are bringing a more experienced player in, then you have to balance that out, don't you?
Rodrigo Moreno Mercado, born 6th of March 1991.
He's not South Korean, is he?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's born in 1991, mate, which makes him 32. I do kind of have me facts right, mate. That's part of the hosting, but there you go. Go ahead, mate.
And balance it out with a younger player.
Yeah, you've got to.
You know, an up and coming one that maybe you can sell in a couple of years.
You see, people are talking about Joel Perot.
Yeah, Big Jolie,
who's at Swansea, who is a nice finisher. Not convinced he's quick enough for the Premier League, and he might be one of them that's got. And to be fair, he's got over 40 goals in the last 2 seasons for Swansea. He's 23, Dutch striker. I'm just not convinced on him, but it doesn't mean he can't do it, does he?
No.
It just depends how much Swansea.
He's got the double factor though, Dutch and plays in the Championship. It's not because you can never rely on either of them, and they sort of, but maybe they'd cancel each other out and would make him amazing.
Possibly. Ron says, great show, lads. Love listening to you fellas from inside my digger in Devon. I mean,
thought he was saying inside prison then.
No.
I really did think he was going to be on
you cannot say that to
F-wing.
Ron. Big Ron he's in his digger digging things up and listening to us, so fair play to him.
When he said inside, I thought he was going to be like, I'm in strange ways, let him on the roof.
Cameron Ashworth says, glory days, they were Steve Walsh turning up in Milan like a Hoover salesman and coming back with Theo Walcott.
With his butties in his briefcase.
It's tremendous. They were tremendous times. It was exciting, but
it was exciting.
It came and went.
What exactly was he doing?
I don't know, right? Because he was literally offered good players like Brozovic and people like that, and he just went, oh, boss, that info, thanks, and just went home without buying him.
That seems to be a trend, doesn't it? That does seem to be a trend of,
it's like, what's the point
of Everton in the last few years, scouting people, or like, to the ends of the earth, having a really, really good look at people, and then going, I'll leave him, and then Villa buy them, or let Newcastle buy them, or let Spurs buy them. That's the scouting budget must be ridiculous.
It is weird. It's weird. JD Gaming's just become a Premier member. Said didn't believe there was so much stuff on there. Cheers, mate. Welcome. Thank you very much.
What are you doing?
He's just looking for some shit for the next show. Eugene says, I think we should get Messi on loan. Just don't see that happening.
I can't see that happening.
I mean, Miami are getting... They've got Busquets, they've got Messi, Jordi Alba, and they've put in a bid for Luis Suarez as well.
That didn't happen. You're kidding me.
I've literally listened to the Inter Miami fella yesterday.
Kidding me.
So
you are kidding me.
Joseph Martin has scored again at the weekend, so he's coming back to some
They brought
form.
Dingo in as the technical director, haven't they? Moreno.
Have they?
Yeah, he used to be Atlanta's manager.
Oh, Jim, no, he's the manager.
Oh, no,
Tata Martino.
No, they've brought in...
Hold on. Tata Martino is the new man, the new head coach.
Okay.
And he's had Messi at Argentina and at Barca. And obviously he was Atlanta's manager for a few years as well. So they're moving in a different direction now into Miami. So, I mean, they have to, they were bottom. But there you go. Samuel says Rodrigo may be in his 30s, but only for a few million. It's a no-brainer. Sign him. David. Yes.
It is what it is.
People saying Adama Traore.
No. He's no. He really is a no. Honestly. He's no.
The lad cannot. He can't put the ball in the net. He can run. And that's it. And you look at him and think, he should be amazing. He's powerful, strong, he's dead quick. There's nothing comes from it. Nothing comes from it. I think he's got 7 goals for Wolves in his career or something like that. If he doesn't cross the ball, so what would he be?
Do you know where he'd be boss?
Know what I mean?
Do you know where he'd be boss?
Go on.
Soccer Aid.
He would be, to be fair. He's only 27 years of age.
He's just got no end product, has he? He's got no end product at all. Like, and when I say that, what I mean, he is like a sprinter. That's all he is, like a sprinter. And then, but he just, to me, I think we'd hate him. I honestly think
our fans would hate him.
Shut up, our fans. We'd hate him.
I don't like him anyway. Watch loads of him. Everton, don't forget, had the opportunity to have him under Roberto Martinez for 2 seasons on the run. They offered him us on loan. Barcelona, he was in Barcelona B, wasn't he? And Martinez had a look at him and didn't fancy him at all. And then Barca promoted him to their first. I mean, he got 8 goals in 63 games for Barcelona B. Barcelona give him 1 game and then binned him.
Not for me. He's a no for me.
Then he went to Villa and he played 12 times for Villa and scored 1 goal. Middlesbrough took him. He's played 31 times in the first season with no goals. And he played 40 times in the Championship and scored 5 goals in the Championship. Ella Sims done that in half a season. He left Middlesbrough playing 71 games and scoring 5 goals. He went to Villa, played Wolves, 5 seasons in the Premier League with Wolves, 200 games, 14 goals. His best season was 6 in 54 in 2019-20, which was a bit of the COVID season.
Where was it when he had a little purple patch, didn't he?
It was then, 2019-20.
And everyone got a little semi on over it.
He beat Man City 2-0 away. He got battered and broke twice, and he scored 2, I think, and he won 2-0. And he was excellent that day. Yeah, he played 40 times for bloody hell, 40 times for Wolves last season.
Right.
Yeah, and he scored 3 goals, and that was it. And we're looking at like Iwobi doesn't score enough goals, and Iwobi got 2. And Iwobi doesn't get enough for us, and Iwobi had 8 assists, don't forget, or something like that. This fella has the odd assist. So, for me, he's not who Everton should get.
It's a no from me.
Yeah. I just think we'd be infuriated, we'd be like pulling our hair out with him.
He's another one, isn't he, that you look at and go, oh, look, he's that money ball kind of player that, not the money ball player you should be playing, but the one people look at and go, oh, yeah, he's got all the assets, hasn't it? And you go, no, he hasn't. Look at his numbers. He's got nothing. We've already got loads of players who don't score. We don't need another one.
He's got power and pace. And you're right, Ned, if you wanted an out ball and you just wanted to knock it over the back 4 and then to run on, he's perfect for that. But what does he do? When he gets in them positions, what does he do? He doesn't really do anything. He done something against against Everton for Wolves, didn't he? Went on that run. Should have been taken out, wasn't. Had a shot. Pickford saves it and the lad knocks it in. But that's few and far between. Yeah. If he'd done that most weeks, you'd be going, well, there wouldn't just be Everton looking at him, would there? Most Premier League.
Ned, breaking news. There's some breaking news just for you.
Is it? No, for Ned.
Just for you. There are lots of jobs available at Chester Zoo, including roles working with parrots and penguins.
Really? Yeah.
Really?
Oh, Ned.
Oh, he's going to go full Joe Parker here.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say.
Lads, I'm leaving because I want to work with penguins.
He reminds me a bit of like Dan James.
Yeah, Dan James is another one. Got loads of pace. Every now and again, he'll lash one in.
I lash one in against Everton.
It's not controlled pace though. That's the thing about it. It's not like your first. If you've got pace, it's great, but you need to have all the other bits. That's why Usain Bolt isn't a footballer.
Yeah,
because it's great to have all the pace. You need the control. You need to have that ability to know. It's why when you do see players with pace, that they can become the world's greatest players if they've got the control. You mentioned it the other day. You about Salah bringing a ball down with the outside of his foot
and then just setting off,
and then he hits another gear and he's gone because he's got that pace, but he's also got that ability. And if you took that pace away, he'd still be a great footballer. That's the point, isn't it? Yeah. If you took Traore's pace away from him, what would he be? Ned. What I mean by that is he can work. Works the cameras.
Yeah, I have to debunk this idea. Rodrigo's injury prone. He's played 97 games in 3 seasons for Leeds. That's not injury prone. More than 30 a season. Not injury prone. To Everton, that'd be getting an award for being present.
What
so
award would he get?
Man who's available the most.
That's James Tarkowski's locked that
He's
down.
locked it down, but he'd be in the running. That's what I'm saying.
It's only 3
So
months term, that Ped.
Let's just.
What was that, mate?
It's only 3 months fixed.
He's actually looked at the jobs for the zoo.
Back here in 3 months. But let's have a few parrots, like.
Yeah.
Coming back like that. Hello, my friends. When he opens his arm, there's just birds all the way along.
Incredible. Will says, sitting in my parents' fishing boat on a lake in central Minnesota, having a morning beer on Toffee TV. Life is good. It's right, Will.
As we know, Minnesota is the home of 1,000 lakes.
It is. Yeah.
Something we took away from us.
We
when
did.
We were there.
There was when we were coming into land. There was a lot of lakes. A lot of lakes. As Silla probably would have said or something. But yeah, Minnesota. Enjoy it, Will. Yeah, people saying William is 34. He'd be good for the season.
Is one I've just noticed here.
Yeah.
So I mean, apparently there's an article about 777 football.
Okay.
And the headline is 777 wanted to buy Everton. But fraud, kidnapping, extortion, predatory lending, and racketeering are just some of the things their companies are accused of in US court papers. And their founder has a drug trafficking conviction. That's just Everton. That's classic Everton.
Well, no, to be fair, Everton have battered it away.
No, I know, but that's classic Everton, isn't it?
If it would have.
Being linked with a company like that. That's classic Everton, that. Good stuff.
Galloway, what? Go and look at Rodrigo. He's not talking to me, he's talking to someone else. He's the most injury-prone player I've ever seen, apart from Dom. 97 games in 3 seasons. That is untrue.
What are Dom's numbers in the last 3 years? Crystal Palace are pleased to announce that Roy Hodgson has been appointed as the Crystal Palace manager.
Excellent.
There you go.
We will be going live on More Than a Game at 2 o'clock, discussing...
2 o'clock?
Yeah, that's right. Discussing other football, not Everton, and what's going on in the world of football. Very exciting. So get over there and join us at 2. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Let's have a little look at Big Dom. Whenever this decides. Dom. So he's played 34 in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
for Everton.
That's a big difference.
And 39 the season before. So what's 73 games? So Rodrigo's played nearly 30 games. More. Well, 25 games more.
That's nearly 30.
But Rodrigo played 35 times last season for Leeds, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's played 34 times in 2 seasons for Everton. So already he's ahead of him. So yeah, I'd call injury prone someone who plays less than 20 games a season, like Yerry Mina. Someone who's playing average, played 97 times in 3 seasons, isn't injury prone to me.
Good stuff.
Young Trash Lord, what a name, says Dan James is just an attacking Ben Goffrey.
Yep.
There you go. The Blue says he was injury prone last season. Like, how many 90s did Rodrigo play? I'd still have him as a third striker. I don't know, but he got 15 goals in 35 games. So I'd definitely have him. Galloway, I've checked. Oh my God. I have checked his injury record. Just explain to me how 97 games in 3 seasons is injury prone. Please enlighten me. That is right. Just nonsense. David Green says, afternoon, boys. July is here. Time to get our arse in gear and sign some players. Absolutely. Steve Thomas says, new offside rule has been trialled in some leagues. Would you be happy for it to come into the Prem? I would like it, but think it'd work best with the semi-automated system as per the World Cup.
Yeah, I think I would, because I just think it makes. I think it just makes it cleaner for the fan, for there to be literally, a player is offside when his whole body is offside. I think it just makes it cleaner, and it gets rid of
It's Arsene Wenger's one, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets rid of that thing of the toe and all that. I think it makes it a lot cleaner. I think it's easier for the linesman to spot. I still want, you still want your backup systems, whether it be what we have now, which if you think about it, you wouldn't need the semi-automated one if it was daylight, essentially, would you? And if you go back to things like the Mari Gray's goal at Leeds, that's a goal. Yeah. There's no question mark. And what real advantage?
Connor Cody's winner against Liverpool.
Yeah, and what a real advantage did they gain in those goals? You know what I mean? And of course, there might be some that go against you, but if you're talking about the game, if you're talking about being able to celebrate goals, if you're somehow it not being
bringing the joy back,
big toes and all that kind of thing, and of course, listen, people will go, well, it's still a matter of millimeters. It's millimeters now, but now you have that thing of when two players are crossing over, and it could be someone's armpit, and what's the arm? That just goes against not the spirit of the game, because that's not real. And if you're a cricket fan, stop talking about the spirit of the game with a load of bollocks. There's rules, and the rules are there for it. So if you have the rules and they say, well, you're offside, well, then it's easier to measure. You can see if someone is next to someone, it's easier to see them going, oh, look, it was the tip of their elbow, or where does the arm start, and all that kind of thing. It would be so much cleaner. I think as a fan, it would give a little bit more common sense.
It's about timing your runs then. It's what we were always, you should play literally on the shoulder of the defender, but you make sure you're in line. The some part of you is in line. The defender then has to readjust his game, but that's okay, because they can do it with their eyes. But they can't go, well, I'll just rely on his toenail being offside.
Yeah.
So,
and those things,
I think it's better.
And then when people will go, well, it doesn't give any advantage to the defender. Is a defender really doing an offside line to catch someone offside by their big toe? No, they're not.
They're still trying to go, I can't leave him.
If you go back to the old school, the old Arsenal offside trap, the thing that we grew up with, the thing that was they didn't. They timed their runs perfectly to catch someone offside, not offside by a leg or by a toe, to catch them the whole thing. So they made their run too quickly and all that, and then it got changed when they did the new rule, and then the forward started to bend their runs and all that kind of thing. So what's he jumping up at that one?
I honestly don't know. Mark says we need goals across the whole team, so Rodrigo would add goals. We need 3 or 4 players. We can get another 7 to 10 goals on top of what we have. Absolutely not so purple-acky said. Jamie Webster's all right now, isn't he? Stopped doing all the red stuff. Didn't anyone catch him at the Pierhead over the weekend? He was superb. Bruno says, happy Monday, boys. One of the younger players we have in our team, who would you like to see get some frequent game time? Anyone who can score goals, mate. Patterson, I want to stay fit, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, have a look at this sometimes, yeah.
What can you do? So, like I said, we are going live on More Than a Game, discussing the rest of what is happening in the transfer market, basically given Everton aren't doing anything just right now. So join us at 2 o'clock on there. We'll be discussing all the other stuff, which will be good. Make sure you subscribe to here and there. Just do it. Hey, you, just do it. Let's do one more big refresh, and then we're out of here for a quick break, and then we'll be discussing the main stuff that's going on. Bill, do some more on Bill Altore, but not right now.
Big Bill.
But he's 21 years of age, he's mobile, he's very, very highly rated. Very, very highly rated.
It's not. It's the best transfer.
Here, where did Peg get his cup from?
My cup. It's a company called Cork Sickle. CORKCICLE. They are not cheap, but they are really, really good. That cost me about 4. Well, I got it for Christmas. They're about 45 quid, but they're well worth it.
Terry Mack, big Terry.
Keep
I've
your
heard from
coffee
for ages.
for hours.
I haven't seen spoke to Ted for
Ted's had
ages.
a baby though, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah. I hope he's
baby.
coming to the Premier night on Friday.
If he isn't, then he's
banned.
What's the point?
Deitch warned the fan base in his final interviews last season that we wouldn't be in the end of the transfer market that some want us or expect us to be in, the high end, he means. The club is still in a critical condition financially, and that needs to be remembered for the context and any move we make. We need to rebalance the squad and put a team together under very strained conditions. I'm keeping an open mind on signings like Rodrigo because of this. As far as Dan Juma is concerned, I have no sentimentality. This is business, and if he improves Everton more than other options, then bring him in. Well said, Tez, you're having the last word. Subscribe, like the video, and at 2 o'clock, join us on the More Than a Game channel. Ned will put the link once more now. It's pinned. Click on that, and at 2 we're live. See you later. Bye.
Bye.